Hi everyone, I'm Adam from Trade with Precision and welcome to IC Markets Market Commentary. So let's have a look at this. In the last few minutes of literally almost in the last few hours of the week, we saw the market go from looking particularly weak for the US dollar, so strong euro dollar, suddenly reversed on news of announcing tariffs against Canada, China, and Mexico. And so we saw this big reversal. So the end result, if we have a look at the charts now, we can see, especially when we go to a weekly time frame, we can see here that we finished with a strong bearish weekly candle off of a level of resistance. If we then compare that to dollar yen as well, we finished off again with that sort of strong dollar for the day off a potential level of support. And again, if we go and have a look against this one, if we go, for example, and have a look at cable, and look at that at sterling, just let that load up quickly. We can see that continuation, that strong bearish candle. So a lot of that heavy, we've seen now that strong dollar strength as well, coming back right at the last minute as well on some of these pairs, really just coming back from that administration. And so a lot of the pairs looking quite strong there. We can see, dollar Aussie here has a very strong trend, very strong bullish candle, indicating that indeed we're likely to get that dollar strength this coming week. There's just this increased kind of volatility in the markets around announcements from the US administration that could potentially just create that extra bit of volatility. So please be aware of that. But these are hinting at a stronger dollar. If we have a look here at gold, gold's actually got a very good run at the moment, breaking past all-time highs. Overall, that trend looking relatively healthy. What I'm going to be looking for this week will be a pullback in towards the moving averages. Should we break these lows, then we're much more likely to get a deeper pullback. But I have to say, overall, the trend is looking quite healthy. Quick look at crude oil. So crude oil is really stuck between a range. The range becomes a little bit more obvious when you see it on the week. We're stuck between these lows and highs, halfway down through the middle. And really what crude oil is trying to do now is to decide if it can find support off the old highs and continue up, or if it's going to continue down lower. You can see here we've got price testing support. So I'll be looking for both of these to see if we do get a push higher on crude oil, or if it does collapse and fall through here, but it's looking much more bullish than bearish right now. Let's move across and have a look at the S&P. So interesting here, when we have a closer look at this, we can see that although we have this very strong general trend here, we've actually had on the daily, we've also had some very nice support that we found. This coming week was a little bit odd in terms of the fact that although we are at all-time highs, it's still battling with that a little bit. If we go to the daily, you can see how the market did gap down. They managed to recover, but really hasn't followed through and has finished with this bearish rejection candle. So hinting at the possibility of a move to the downside. The question really then is how much further down? Just back down towards the moving averages? Will it recover, take another run at the highs, or are we going to see a deeper correction? So generally speaking, this nice trend that we've got here in the past, we can see that that's actually changed. We're now sitting in a much more range-like consolidation behavior. So this week, just anticipating the potential for a move to the downside. The question really is how much. Having a look at US tech, something very similar here, slightly lower high, battling with that strong support resistance area. And from a daily perspective, you can see also again finding support at that 27.16 level and then getting bumped and rejected off the previous high resistance level. So yes, it makes more sense that for now, the markets will consider heading lower. We've got the Russell 2000, and again, this is something I've been relatively nice to see here, going from consolidation for a very long period of time, breaking out of this consolidation, finding some nice little support here, and you can see here the moving averages fanning out at a bullish formation, 50, 20, and 10. Nice little bit of a bullish candle here. So certainly the Russell 2000 is enthusiastic about attempting to go higher. We'll just have to see again how that plays out. So we formed a bearish indecision candle at resistance, and therefore I'm going to be looking for a break of the low or break of the high. So break of the high would break through resistance, should be a good indication of heading higher. A break of the low means we're much more likely, obviously, to head down towards that 50-period moving average. Again, let's have another quick look at Tesla. So Tesla here finding a beautiful double bottom, which is usually a sign of strength. going up, breaking above the highs. That should have been then a key kind of a move. This should really have been enough for it to continue upwards after that. It didn't. However, it then came back down to test the levels and finished with a bit of a bearish candle here. So from a daily perspective, this is not looking as strong. If we look at it from a weekly perspective, something else that I do find not necessarily a bullish sign, we pulled back, we had a nice little consolidation, bit of a bullish engulfing candle with no follow through. All right, the next candle here should have followed through if this was indeed ready to keep going. We see no follow through, and in fact, the subsequent week here has ended with a bit of a bullish indecision candle. So this is not a sign of a stock that is ready to keep going. Certainly, there appears to be a shortage of buyers to keep it going this week. So that's what I'm going to be looking for this week, is a break below this level of support or a break above the highs. Quite critical there. NVIDIA as well, if we look at it here from a higher perspective, really the monthly showing strong rejections of those 140 levels and a very strong bearish engulfing candle for January, hinting again that there's a much more greater likelihood that we'll see it push down towards the 100 level, possibly even as far as 85. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for this week, is a break of the low of the monthly candle on NVIDIA. And then finally, Bitcoin as well, struggling a little bit here. You can see bobbing around either side of that 100,000 level. We've got higher highs here. We're starting to stall a little bit there. Bit of bearish divergence creeping in here. And again, I'll be looking to see how it handles this support here about that 91,000 level. But right now, it is looking much more likely to be heading down than it is to be heading up, unless there is some other unexpected news that comes out of the US administration. That is my plan for this week. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.